You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7. Got the crew in the building. My man Jay Moore is in the building. How are you, sir?
Doing well. You know, just happy to be here for another week. You know, any day that you wake up and you get to draw breath, you are blessed.
I like that. My man DJ Jay Diff sitting in the captain's seat. What's happening, brother?
Salutations.
Yeah, my man stepping up and handling that business while Lone is handling his business. Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you.
Already.
And we have what I can't even call him a guest at this point. He pretty much family.
He was just here.
He was just
exactly. He's a sixth man.
Yeah, he's a sixth man. That's a good title for him. He's a sixth man.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, my man brother tonight is in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm swell. How are you guys?
All right.
Doing great, buddy.
Don't ask me how I'm living, because I'm living swell.
Back in the building, man. We appreciate you holding us down in the absence.
Shout out to the whole Drunken Knights crew.
Indeed.
Thank you to my brothers. Yeah.
You know, y'all are making moves on a whole bunch of levels.
Yeah, man. Everybody is each one of us are doing something in our respective fields. Man.
You know, we saw that 𝐀𝐄𝐃𝐒 has
got his video,
and I'm telling you, it looks great. And, you know, I don't bestow praise on things that don't deserve it.
I appreciate good. I appreciate
really don't.
Good high quality product.
I'll tell you, it was cool.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it's cool out there. It's a whole lot of it's cool. So when you see high quality product, you gotta shake that man's hand and say,
for those of you who don't know, if you know someone who's I won't say gatekeeper, because that seems like such a loaded word, and you ask them for an opinion on your song or your video, and they be like, "That's cool." Yeah. That means you get back to the drawing board.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, don't come back and ask them, like, "Not for real. How'd you really feel about it?"
Yeah,
I always tell people as creatives, no matter what field you're a creative in, I always tell people, or ask them, I should say, do you really want to hear the truth as a creative? Because to me, that's where you make your bones, where you really, you know, grow as an artist and as an individual. When somebody starts telling you the truth,
and you can take it on the chin. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what I deem constructive criticism. Now, there's a difference between constructive criticism and hating. Those are two different things. But somebody that just wants to give you constructive criticism on your craft, you got to eat that. Just accept it.
Yeah, and constructive criticism isn't like, man, this is just trash.
Right.
Like,
right.
That's be like, you know, the mix is off.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you could have said this better, or I can see where you're going here, but this is what's going to keep it from reaching the next level.
Tighten this up, polish this a little bit. And
it's hard to give people even constructive criticism, because, you know, when people put their heart and soul into something,
that's their baby.
We're sensitive about our art, though.
Well, you know, what it is, it's like, you know, if I say, hey, this isn't as good as it should be, people will be like, am I not as good as I should be? Like, you know, like that's almost the way people.
But we live in a culture where everybody is uber sensitive and hypersensitive about everything. So
this is true.
It's almost like when you critique something, do I need to be on Suicide Watch or
no? That's real.
Or is somebody gonna make this crazy long post about how I'm hating and share it? You know what I'm saying? It's mad weird energy.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
There's somebody.
I don't want nobody to kill themselves though.
No, we don't want that.
I don't either,
we don't want that.
At the same time, like, I gotta be real with you too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because there was somebody in particular that works. That is a frequent person that comes to the club that we work
gotcha.
at, and he asked me to listen to his project, and it wasn't it for me. Yeah, it wasn't it for me, man. And I told him,
any bright spots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you tell him that?
I did. I said, look, man, you should sing a whole lot more than you rap. You know what I mean? Because
that's real.
That's constructive criticism.
That is constructive criticism.
That's a positive to beget the negative.
Yeah.
Facts.
I was like, man, I like the rapping. I don't like the rapping or whatever, but you have a much better singing voice. You should stick to that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's not hating. I like that.
No, I mean, and you got to understand, if you're any type of creative, even just doing what we do, you have to be ready for a certain level of criticism. You know, I enjoy the negative comments we get across all our social media platforms. But
just
for
like and subscribe, man.
Yeah. But for some people, it'll ruin their day to hear somebody say that their opinion was whack. It's just fuel to my fire. I'll reply to you and say, well, no, it's not.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into one of these here topics. This is top 25 4-album runs.
Okay.
Of all time.
Oh, there's 25 of them?
First of all, that's what was alarming to me. 25 4-album runs.
I'll tell you what the number one 4-album one was.
In your opinion?
Yeah, in my personal
before
opinion.
We even get started.
You want to do it before we get started?
I ain't seen it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Ice Cube.
Jay Moore
run.
I know what Jay Moore gonna say.
Because I'm thinking about Ice Cube. I'm thinking because definitely.
Let's get into the list.
All right, let's get into the list. Let's get into the list,
and then we'll discuss.
Cass is my favorite group though, but a solo artist 4 in a row, Cube.
Okay, so are we all gonna do picks before? We want to get that out the way. I say Outkast.
All right.
You said Cube.
That's a great one.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Kendrick.
The Roots.
The Root. Okay.
All right.
I haven't looked.
Starting where?
I'll start with Do You Want More?
Okay.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love Organics.
Yeah.
But I'll start with Do You Want More?
Yeah.
All right. Bet.
Silent Treatment.
We were saying 4, not 3.
4 albums. Greatest 4-album run. Says ASAP Rocky is 25.
No.
And they list Long Live ASAP.
He ain't had 4 good albums.
I'm sorry. Love ASAP.
Yeah,
Long Live ASAP. At Long Last ASAP. And Testing.
Somebody's lying.
25 on the list.
They gassing him just because he put a couple of them in Rihanna, man. Nah.
Is that what this is about?
That's exactly what that's about.
2011 through 2018.
He don't got 4 of them in a row like that.
Damn, they got him on the list at 25.
First one was Cold, and that's probably where the buck stops.
That's a long love.
How about this? 24, Tyler the Creator, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost. I'm not mad at this, and it might be low. We'll see. But I'm not mad at this.
It might be low, but yeah, he do got 4 of them.
Anything?
I can't get jiggy.
You can't get jiggy with Tyler?
Not really, man.
Oh man, you missing out, brother.
I be listening to him, but he just most of his music sound off like he knock off Pharrell, like knock off Neptune's music. It sound like knock off Neptune's music.
Well, you know, Pharrell was his
I know.
like who he looked up to.
Yeah, when I hear his beats, I be hearing the production sound like knock off Neptune music.
Now don't call me if you get lost.
Yeah, it's some samples.
That's one of
some of his samples. I'll be like,
I'm talking about prior to that, and not even Igor, because I listened to Igor and Call Me If You Got Lost, but I'm talking about like Flower Boy and Cherry Bomb and even
I'll be honest, I wasn't hip to what was it, Cherry Boy,
Cherry Bomb and Flower Boy are cold though, both of them. Like I'm not mad at this.
I have to go back because for a while, like I was getting ready to settle into my old manness, and I was like, man, what these dudes are a bunch of weirdos. And then I had to step back out of that, and now Tyler's one of my favorite artists.
I was a grumpy old man the same way until I peeped and I sat down and listened.
What's my guy that just headline?
Earl Sweatshirt.
Not even Earl. Not even.
Oh, you talking
Earl.
about
Frank
Ocean.
Yep.
You got the internet.
See it.
Well, she's in the internet, so.
The internet is fire.
Yeah, so.
Okay, all right. What's 23?
Vince Staples. Big Fish Theory. FM. Vince Staples. And then Ramona Park Broke My Heart 2022.
I like
Dude
Vince.
is talented.
I like Vince. I think he's talented, but as some, maybe it's just because I don't know. Maybe I missed that wave.
Is this qualified to be on the list?
But I hear his music, and nothing makes me say, "Oh yeah, this is up there with."
It does not
the
stick
joints.
with me.
It doesn't. They don't stick with me.
His acting is pretty cool.
He's great as a personality. He's hilarious.
Yeah,
but his music
I like
just
him.
Very smart too.
I
Dude
like
is
him
smart.
on,
I love Vince. I would, if Vince had a podcast, you best to believe.
I definitely will listen to it.
He has dope interviews too.
100%.
Music wise, it's cool. I wouldn't give him he has 4 classics. They using that term real.
Yeah, we started.
I don't think they saying classics though.
Okay.
I just think they
good
saying
for
just a run. Yeah,
like I said, I could just be missing out, so I don't want
Yeah, we ain't gonna do classics.
Maybe I need to revisit some of the things on this list, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like as much as I listen to hip hop and I'm around the culture, somebody else would have put me on to more of certain things.
This is a guy that I recently been hearing is overrated from some of my homies, and I don't know if I agree. Cause
we gonna find out who you hang out with.
He can see my screen.
Larry.
Pusha T.
No.
My Name Is My Name.
That's a classic.
King Push. Darkest Before Dawn. The Prelude. Daytona. It's Almost Dry.
No.
And I listen
to 4 album run.
And the thing is,
that might be accurate.
Is that accurate to you? You'll take that one?
I'll take it.
Maybe I just
relative nice.
I was one of those people that's just it's almost dry. I was expecting everybody talked about it like it was going to be something else.
Or it's almost dry to have the producers that it had I was a little underwhelmed, in my personal opinion, because I know who did the production. I'm like, man, it's cool. It's cool is what I got from that one. That's just me. It's
My
cool.
Name Is My Name is an incredible record, and when you start there,
yeah,
it's just kind of hard.
They got him at 23. No. You say no, huh? No, you ain't feeling it.
I mean, but this list as a whole is like you're reaching for 4.
Yeah,
you think it's reaching for 4?
Yeah,
you're reaching for 4, so it's almost like you have to include people like Pusha T and put out 4 solos because I mean,
oh, here's a good one: Run the Jewels, Run the Jewels, Run the Jewels 2, 3, and 4.
Hell no.
You don't like Run the Jewels?
No,
at all.
Damn, I don't.
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm sorry.
Let's see. Long get a timestamp on that for me, buddy.
I don't rock with LP, man.
What?
You don't like LP?
What? As a rapper?
Like it. No, it's production. It's terrible.
What?
I hate it.
Oh my goodness, man! You killing Mike's, me, man.
I like to kill him.
Rap music. LP produced that.
Yeah.
And the album is fire.
Like rap music?
Oh my god!
Because I like Killer Mike when he was doing Grime Time Official and like what
Pledge Allegiance to the Grime.
Yeah,
that was dope. Yeah. But my personal favorite album from him is Rap Music.
Rap Music was such a twist. It was such a turn from what I was expecting to hear from.
You don't rock with Run the Jewels, bro?
Nah.
All right.
Did you see that snippet on Mike's page?
They festival killers.
Kill him every single time.
I mean, so is Tech-9. I don't really mess with him.
Tech-9.
Why you go to Tech-9?
He be killing
I
it.
see where he was going with that.
You could have went somewhere. You ain't had to do Tech-9.
Maybe I'm biased. I really like Run the Jewels. It's not just because my man is the DJ, but
I like Run the Jewels too.
That was a slight stunt right there.
Shout out to Track Star, the DJ.
I fool with Run the Jewels.
No, I have enjoyed Run the Jewels. Whole discography, so to me this makes sense.
And that Greg Nice joint,
Ooh La La,
that was fire.
Yeah,
me personally, I rock with Run the Jewels. Some of the albums were mid.
Okay,
but we're talking again. This is
4-album run.
Stretch 4 of them out.
Yeah,
you talking about a 4-album run?
And they're going to tour out for every album that comes out,
and it's going to be successful.
Yeah,
the tour is going to be successful. Oh, number 20, Ice-T.
Oh, we know who wanted to hear
that. He gonna give
Let's go. Let's go. What are the 4?
Rhyme Page.
Yep.
Power.
Exactly.
The Iceberg / Freedom of Speech, Just Watch What You Say album. An original Gangster in 91.
Gangster. I feel like.
Is this justifiable?
3 of those 4 are classics.
Oh, wow.
I stand on it.
He stand on it.
I wouldn't
Brother
know.
Tonight, talk to me, man.
I wouldn't know, man. I just know I know some songs.
You know New Jack Hustler.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning.
Yeah. He got classic records now. I ain't going to be disrespectful, but...
because I know the singles, I know the Tower. You know, I know.
Bro, Ice-T got bangers now. Don't get it twisted.
Like I said, I am.
Jay Moore was listening to his rock and roll stuff too.
Oh, you bought Body Count?
Because the first Body Count album is on. First Body Count song is on OG. That's where he introduced them.
Cop Killer.
No, that wasn't Cop Killer. Cop Killer was on the album when Body Count came out. You know, and Body Count is still out here. They just won a Grammy like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so
here's a good one.
Yeah, Ice-T, I stand on that.
Here's a good one. 19.
That's the one that really makes sense.
This was what?
DJ Quick.
Yeah.
Quick is the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way Too Funky.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Safe and Sound.
Okay.
And Rhythmalism. I remember that.
I have no problem with that.
I don't have no problem with that.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, we can go ahead and keep it moving on that one. Yeah.
Rhythmalism was incredible.
Facts.
He had Elder Barge on that.
Facts.
Say Rhythmalism 10 times.
Rhythmalism. No, we're not going to do that.
He was about
to do it just so you shut the F up. But
see, Lone, did you...
He said F.
He did. All right, I'm just checking.
Yeah, so Rhythmalism. Yes, come on now.
Am I
pitch in on a party? Go ahead and start running that.
Come on, man.
If y'all DJ and you're trying to get your West Coast on.
Now this is impressive because it's at the latter portion of his career, but they got Nas, the King's Disease series, plus Magic.
I'm not mad at that.
I cannot argue that.
Not mad
the fact that his heat, he has so much heat, early Nas, that he can be on this list for this speaks to how cold Nas is.
Think about
mad
it.
At that.
I don't count that joint he did with Kanye with Cop Shot the Kid. So
that was Magic, right?
No, Magic was Hit Boy.
That was Nas.
Magic was Hit Boy. Had
No,
leftovers.
Nasir.
So Nasir, I don't count Nasir.
That was before King's Disease.
But no,
True.
But right before that was
Life is Good.
The
Life is
Kanye
Good.
EP was mid.
So
being
if
honest.
if you don't count Nasir, you talking about one of the best 5 album runs in hip hop.
I'm not mad at this King's Disease series of Magic. I'm not mad. Him and Hit Boy
When
got
he
great.
gave
Probably
us
should be a
Magic.
little higher up on the list.
He gave
You think
us
so?
Magic as almost like a Christmas present.
Yeah, those were like, I ain't gonna say throwaways, but just records that didn't make the King's Disease series the way I understood it. They just
What?
put them out. The Magic joint.
For that to be some throwaways, that was incredible. I listen to Magic as much as I listen to King's Disease 3, and I love King's Disease 3.
Oh, here we go. 17, Drake. Take Care. Nothing Was the Same. If you're reading this, it's too late. And Views.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's a
can't
good
front on
run.
that.
That's a good run.
That's a good run.
I can't even,
Yeah,
as somebody.
I'm not mad at that.
I can't even. I want. You know what? There's a part of me, the old man that wants to hate and say no. I cannot hate.
I'm not
I
even the biggest
cannot.
Drake fan, but I'm also not a hater. The boy,
Alright.
the
I mean,
boy.
you got to be a realist about that. Though.
You
I mean,
have to.
He literally had hits on every one of them albums.
So
Multiple.
Let's step away from this conversation real quick. What do you think is his best album?
So Far Gone.
so far,
I mean,
gone
but
fire.
that's a mixtape though.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that could have been in that conversation.
Take Care.
my gut is
I
telling me
love
take care.
Take Care,
I,
bro.
Yeah, my gut is telling me take care.
I didn't.
Or
I'm
you know
sorry, I
what?
love
Views
Take
from
Care.
the 6 because he switched. It was like
That's when he
It was
first
a
started
pivot.
giving you that island stuff.
it was a pivot on Views from the 6 that he kind of stayed in that pocket for a minute.
Take
So
Care.
it would be
Take Care,
between
though.
Take Care and Views from
He
the
opened
6.
Take Care with Over My Dead Body, which is just a record that I
Yeah,
love.
take care is fire. Like I don't care if you like Drake or not.
My favorite Drake album is If You Read This, It's Too Late.
Really?
Yeah.
It's still on the 6 vibe though.
Yeah, but hey, it's got some slappers.
It does have
Jay
some
Moore,
vibe.
your prediction is 16th. The Roots. Do You Want More? Philadelphia. Things Fall Apart. And Phrenology. Things Fall Apart might be my favorite.
It
One of my
is
favorite.
definitely my favorite
Yeah,
Roots
that's
album.
my favorite.
But
Yeah,
we know it
Things
should
Fall
be on the
Apart.
list, but it's a little low. 16 out of 25.
I don't know. I got to hear the rest of the list. And you know what? Yeah, man. Like
Dope albums.
there was just
all of
there
them.
was just a time where I was just obsessed with the Roots and Black Thought and everything.
I ain't mad at
they
that.
did, man. And it was crazy how they numbered their albums because it was like they wouldn't just give you 1, 2, 3, 4. It would pick up from the last album.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first song on like the next album might be 23.
Mm-hmm.
And they would always have a hidden track.
Facts.
Like the last song would always play real long.
And then
something would come in.
else.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I used to love that too.
Concerto of the Desperado. That was just one of those records.
Pete Rock used to do that. He used to tease us with them beats on the end of songs.
Or
And I'd be like,
Concerto. I don't
I'd be
know.
like, man, who's using this beat? Like I used to hate when he did that.
I think Things Fall Apart is the first time I ever heard Benny Siegel too.
Might have been the first time you heard Eve.
You know what? That's a good call. I think you're right. That's a good
Because
call.
that was before he was actually signed to the
Black
Rock.
Friday.
Mm.
That's when you signed to
about-
Black Friday.
How about this? 15, Run DMC. So you got Run DMC,
Mhm.
King of Rock, Raising Hell, Tougher Than Leather. That's a run.
That's where they lost me. And
What, Tougher Than Leather?
Tougher Than Leather was kind of weak.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tougher Than Leather. What was on?
Run's House.
Was okay. Run's House was, but wasn't Mary on Tougher Than Leather?
Yes.
Like as a kid, I liked it, but I heard it recently. I was like, this is not it.
It's not.
But wasn't Beats to the Rhyme on Tougher Than Leather?
I'd have to pull the track list up, but I believe.
Tougher Than Leather was actually ass.
I mean,
What'd you say, Terry? We're gonna go. We just talked
compared
about
to the first 3,
yeah.
yeah,
You know what's crazy? One of my favorite Run DMC joints is the Pete Rock joint
that was on.
with all the features.
That was on-
That was.
But that was after the fact.
Yeah,
afterwards.
that was on.
That's when
Down
they
with the
all
King.
shaved their heads.
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
That song
they
is
got
cold.
saved.
Down with the King is cold, and the video is cold. Easy's in that video.
That album ain't cold.
yeah, because
I'll
the
make
next
all-
single was like, "Ooh, what you gonna do?" No,
Yeah.
Nah, okay.
but I was one of those people that liked Back from Hell. That was their fifth. Was that fifth album?
I'm cool. I think I'm cool because I don't
most
remember it
people
like that.
because that's the one that had the Av and What's It All About and Faces.
Down with the King is
People
fire
just,
though.
once again, I was such a Run DMC fan that I loved Back from Hell.
I
but
don't remember.
You don't even
one
know
of
what I'm
those
talking
records.
about.
One of
Why you
those
say it like
records.
that?
I don't remember not damn one of them records.
All right,
Okay.
man. Look, 14.
Look, I listened to.
But I was watching. I was watching Rap City. faithfully back then, and like, because I can remember.
You being disrespectful
I remember
right now,
a group
man.
called the Afros.
Yes,
I remember that.
You know what I mean?
Remember
and I don't remember the DLC songs.
Do you remember the song? Do you remember the song "Pause" where they was trying to do like some New Jack Swing?
Yeah, I remember that.
Nah,
I'm sleep on pause. Yeah, I'm sleep.
I remember that.
Terry, why you singing? Why you singing
That's how
like
it went. The Afrolistic song.
Yeah.
Kicking Afrolistics.
Yeah.
You know, Afros kicking Afrolistics. That was a real song.
Yeah.
Come on, man. 14.
crazy.
Now this might be a little low. Ghostface, Iron Man, Supreme Clientele, Bulletproof Wallace, Pretty Tony. Nothing's wrong here with the
If you got
list.
a problem with that, then
And you know what's
you
crazy?
ain't really a fan of
is,
hip hop.
Like Bulletproof Wallace is the weakest of that, and it's
still
dope.
fire.
Yeah.
And because but the only reason we might knock that down a little bit is because we know it was supposed to be on Bulletproof Wallets. Like that song that they had with Slick with Good
Girls,
Times
yeah.
was supposed to be on there. The Sun was supposed to be. There were so many songs they couldn't get cleared for whatever reason.
Girls
Hey,
was
Originally supposed to be
That was
his.
originally supposed to be. I don't think he ever recorded anything.
He didn't.
But there are songs that, and you see him. Now they got now everything's streaming or available. A joint called Hidden Darts. A lot of those things that are on Ghostface's Hidden Darts was supposed to be like Ghost was about to hit him for 3 in a row.
My man Lone know about the Sun. We used to rock that.
Man, it got Bulletproof Wallace. That's what Never Be the Same.
Yeah.
Oh, he
That's
just-
one of my favorite records.
He just put it in the chat. Lone says Bulletproof Wallace wasn't great, capitalized great. Still had heat though.
But it was good.
I mean, but it's surrounded by 3 great, if not Supreme
well,
Clientele.
those are classic.
But you're not
those
even
3 are
talking about
classic.
Iron Man in that run.
Iron Man
That's
and
what's
Supreme
so
Clientele
nasty.
is 2 of the coldest albums ever to me. Both of them. Okay, they got 13. Eric B and Rakim.
4 of them?
Paid in full.
yes.
Follow the leader.
Yes.
Let the rhythm hit him.
Yes.
Nope.
Don't sweat the technique.
Nope. Let the rhythm hit him and don't sweat
The
the
last
technique.
2 you out.
No, don't sweat the technique. That was a record.
That's a record, bro.
But
That song
let
was
the
a
rhythm-
record.
That song is a record.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
song is a
But
record.
then it had which one had Mahogany? The one that Let the Rhythm Hit Him.
I'd have to look at the track list, bro, because that's when you get in that time frame. I need to see the track list because I'm getting
I
old.
remember really like Let the Rhythm Hit Him. Man, I don't know, maybe. And I like all 4 of those records.
Brother to the Night is out on the last 2. Number 12,
Come on now.
Jay-Z.
This is going.
How's that number 12,
hold up.
though?
See, the list losing credibility, ain't it? Reasonable Doubt, volumes 1, 2, and 3.
Nope.
What you mean, no?
Must be in volume 3. Volume 3 was not John Blaze.
My least favorite was volume 2, the more commercial joint.
I like
I
it.
actually,
Just because it had
Volume 3 had the Snoopy song on it, right?
which is trash.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Volume 3
But
had,
I just know it had the Snoopy song.
because
Yeah.
Volume 3 had that song Swiss Beats did with Mariah Carey. The way the things that you do, that song is awful.
I didn't need that either.
What it
Yeah.
is. But I do like Jigga Kelly not guilty.
That's not on there.
That's not.
He just wanted.
That's on the Dynasty. That's like 2 albums after that.
yeah.
I thought this was American people.
No,
That is on the Dynasty.
that's on the
That's on
Dynasty.
the Dynasty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
What was the first album? They didn't even say Reasonable Doubt.
They
No,
did.
it's-
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It starts with Reasonable Doubt, then goes through all 3 volumes.
So yeah,
If you're gonna do Volume 1, 2, I'm sorry, but that does not make for a 4 album run.
Nah.
Well, yeah.
If you start at
Where would you start, Well, to get 4?
to get 4,
Yeah. Where do I start?
It's hard to get 4.
Do you start-
This was a Hope fan's gonna be
Blueprint.
mad. Yeah, I don't know if he got 4 in a row.
Blueprint,
Blueprint.
Black Album,
Yeah, but then he comes back with Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come is in there.
Nah, Blueprint, and then you had
Then,
Blueprint
then
2.
you have American Gangster.
Now that's a better 4, I think. Or am I tripping?
because it's
Kingdom Come, man.
Kingdom Come was not
Kingdom
like
Come
that.
had some joints, but it wasn't.
But there
it
are some
wasn't
things
like
on
crazy,
Kingdom
though.
Come that are so bad. Like that song, Anything with Usher, Hollywood with Beyonce.
Yeah, that
those
song
songs,
is
like
whack.
I didn't need a lot of records on that album. Now the standouts are fire on Kingdom Come, but it's a lot of records I
I
didn't
don't
need.
like
on there.
Dig a Hole.
No, I don't like Dig
Digga
a
Ho
Hole.
was all right, but it wasn't nothing like.
I used to get into this with Jay Brook, and shout out to him. I love the song Beach Chair. The
Beach
last
Chair was
Man.
fire to me.
And one of my homies, JJ, man, that's his favorite Jay-Z record.
Yeah,
Really?
Dang.
I don't know if I've ever heard that.
I love the record that just Blick Kingdom Come.
Now that's
Kingdom Come
Show Me
fire.
That's
What You
fire.
Got.
Show Me What You Got was amazing.
The
video was fire,
The very
too.
first song, it's like the interlude, is done by this dude from St. Louis named DJ 𝐀𝐿, where it starts off with a sample from Superfly.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Lost
okay.
Ones is fire.
I still like Lost Ones.
Lost Ones is fire. So it's heat on there, but that album.
But there's some stuff. There's some very low lows on that record.
That beat for Lost Ones.
It wasn't an album that is supposed to come reclaim the throne with. You know, what
this is now
after a retirement.
Now it's starting to get good. Scarface, Mr. Scarface is back. The World Is Yours, The Diary, and Untouchable.
That's
nothing.
I see nothing wrong here.
No, we can't even argue.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
You could even put it in another order to include The Fix.
The Fix is one of my favorite albums.
You could leave the first one off just to include The Fix.
Yep.
I agree.
That's my favorite Scarface album is The Fix. Personally.
Mine too. I agree. Now we in the top 10.
Scarface is back.
Yes.
Right.
What you got to say about that, Byron?
Don't be careful. Hey, be careful, bro.
I don't have nothing bad to say. I didn't really like the first Scarface album that I really listened to was The Untouchable.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed all
you
the
like
other
it?
stuff. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So after Untouchable was The Fix. Did you like The Fix?
I did.
All right.
Yeah.
Because that was the first one you did on Def Jam.
I like the singles that came before that, you know what I mean? But I never listened to those albums because at that time I was buying my own albums. I ain't had no older brother or nothing. So
The Fix is fire.
Look, I remember the first time I heard "Minute to Pray and a Second to Die."
Man.
I was like, okay, this is
Bro, the song on the
What
Fix.
album is Hand of the Dead Body on? What song? Is album. What song is that album on?
You would ask me, man. I'd have to look it up.
What song was that had the
what was the one where he did with Q?
Had the Marvin Gaye sample, and they was standing.
That's "Minute to Pray, Second to Die."
Yeah,
that one.
That was I used to love that record on Rap City.
The joint on the Fix with
That whole album go
Faith
to me.
Evans.
That whole album go to me.
Fire,
Like
man.
how I put so much cred on Tupac's
Me Against the World.
Me Against the World. The Diary kind of has similar feel to me.
Yeah, the album is fire.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me nothing about the Fix. So we in the top 10 now. Public Enemy.
Public Enema.
Yo Bum Rush the Show.
Okay,
Takes a Nation.
no doubt.
Fear the Black Planet. Apocalypse 9-1. The Enemy Strikes Black 91. So
Okay.
87
that
to
was
91.
a time. That was a time, and it was definitely appropriate for that time. And
But a lot of people, even call themselves Public Enemy fans, do not know anything on Yo Bum Rush the Show.
I mean, It Takes a Nation for me.
It's a great record.
That's the one.
All four. All four of those are excellent records.
Tupac. See if I can read it like Lone. Strictly for my ends. Me Against the World. All Eyes on Me. And Don Illuminati.
accurate, very accurate.
Very
you
accurate.
go.
There's
Yes,
nothing to say about that. Okay, so now we getting into number 8. EPMD. Strictly Business. Unfinished Business. Business as Usual. Business Never Personal.
It
We
gets
going
easy
88
now
to 90,
because
88 to 92.
Because they just write.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
Nope.
Yeah,
All right.
that works.
Well, this is easy. Number 7, Tribe.
Yeah,
People's Instinctive, Low End, Midnight, Peace, Rhyme, and Life. There's
Absolutely.
no issues here.
Nope.
Anybody any issues?
no qualms.
I would take off People's Instinctive Travels and put on with the Love Movement, man.
You could move it up.
Do that. You could do that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, but you could do that.
You
I mean,
could
because
do it. I wouldn't prefer.
Because People's Instinctive Travels got the classics. You know what I mean? Bonita and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But
Segundo, yeah.
I hated El Segundo.
You didn't like my what? You know what?
I used to watch it on the box.
Yeah, I used to watch the video.
You know
I
why?
love
Because
that
I'm like-
video.
You know why?
I
Because
say
I
it
can
was one
see
of my
why.
favorites.
Because you look at the video and you be like, "Are these dudes on some goofy stuff?"
Yeah.
You know, and you didn't realize. You know, you thought okay, it was going to be some look because you could have put it into the same category, and this is no diss. I guess in a way it is, as like Young MC
Yes.
because it seemed like they trying to be funny.
Yes.
You know, and you're
But I
not
felt-
seeing them as like the basically the legendary hip hop group.
And wasn't that like their first single?
Yes,
It was.
Yeah.
that was
I
the first
like,
single.
when I first seen it, I was like, man, who the
You actually, to be honest, ain't supposed to make it off that being your first song.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
it's just
was-
the rest of the album was
They came at the exact right time to capitalize on that because they wasn't supposed to make it off that.
But
Exactly.
I thought Tribe, even early Tribe, to use the Young MC comparison, I thought even Tribe still had more swag, more creativity, even at that stage.
If you look at the
they
rhyme
were so
pattern,
different.
but
They
Yeah.
was different.
But
Yeah,
you know, I was like, okay, am I supposed to be laughing at this? Is this some about a dude losing his wallet, and remember how they was dressed in the early days.
Yes, they had those Chinese hats and lantern hats and all that stuff.
It was
that raiding hat.
Yeah,
That's what I call it.
they had
raiding
dashikis and Chinese
How
hats.
they was from New York and they was way in Mexico though.
man.
Hey, you know,
I was being too literal about all of it.
There was
you
a
know where El
little person
Segundo
in the
came
video.
from, right?
What?
No,
they referenced that. You know where he referenced that from?
no.
Son.
Yep, that's where he got it from.
Well,
Because Fred Red Fox, he's always talking about El Segundo on
big
Sanford Son.
dummy.
All right, number 6, Gang Starr. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's see. Step in the arena.
Yes, sir.
Daily operation. Hard to earn. Moment of truth. Any issues?
None.
Nope.
All right. We in the top 5. Well, here's Terry's. Ice Cube. So straight out of Compton. America's Death Certificate. The Predator. Sorry. Pretty straightforward there. Yep.
even if you don't include the NWA album,
Right.
it's still
there. Yeah.
still there because after Predator was
Lethal Injection.
Yeah.
Yep. Another
Lethal
banger.
Injection was cold.
Yeah.
Facts.
But the thing,
Facts.
what's crazy about Cube? Think about it. He basically wrote all of Easy's rhymes. So
Yeah.
you can
That's
say
why you
straight
give
out of
him-
Compton.
Easy does it.
Easy does it, yeah.
America's Most Wanted. Kill It Will.
You notice NWA only had one album after Cube left.
True.
I know it sounds crazy.
What that tell you about Cube's importance?
For real?
It's fun.
They
Yeah.
had one album after he
They
left.
had an EP, America's 100 Miles
Miles
of
of
Running.
running, yeah.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, there's only
Well, they had 100 Miles of Running, and they had
Niggas for life.
yeah, but that was it.
as far as I'm concerned, Straight Outta Compton is the only NWA album for real. The second one, don't get me wrong, it was something.
Nah, the second one was
Nah, I got some
fire.
heat
No,
on there.
I have talked about this with so many people, but like the second album, Ice Cube was the soul of that group,
Yeah.
and without
Man,
Ice Cube,
nah, I ain't going. Nope. I ain't
Wait,
going.
like I said,
you said
Once
the
she
what?
swallowed it on,
Yeah.
man,
You
you tripping.
Oh,
No,
wait,
that
you
was
said Ice
on-
Cube was the what?
he was the soul of that group.
He
I
was.
thought-
He was a part of
He's
that
what
group.
made. He's what made him feared.
Yeah.
No. If you go back and listen to for the Full Life album, I'll just put it like that.
That boy was fire to me.
Sonically, that might be. I always say that might be Dr. Dre's best work, but thematically, it is reprehensible.
No,
I
ain't going.
agree. 'Cause when I listened to, I went and listened
I
to
ain't
She
going.
Swallowed It the other day, and I was like,
It's bad.
Oh, my God.
It's bad. Like it's over the top.
yeah.
But for that
No.
album, I remember being in 6th grade.
You should, what you should,
but
you
that's-
should
I
have
was
been
not
listening
supposed to be
none of
listening
that in
to
sixth
that.
grade.
But that's why, because we were kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, now that I'm an adult,
Yeah.
put a pin in this.
It hit a little different, huh?
Yeah.
No,
Let's put a pin
like
in
I
this.
said, thematically, it's just one of those things where I listened to.
Man, that
and
album-
I'm just glad I had good parents that gave me a balance and took me to church. Because honestly, if I let that album influence
We
I would
got
be
in
in
trouble.
a bad way.
We got in trouble because my mama was a beautician, so she worked on Saturdays. So Saturdays we would listen to
All the
vinyl that we
tapes.
wasn't supposed to have. So it would be a lot of Eazy-E and NWA. And
Especially with y'all being in a religion.
Moms came home early one day, and them albums got confiscated.
I sure did.
Quickly.
Absolutely. Never seen them albums again for probably 4 years.
Well,
That happened for me too, man. My dad snitched on me because I was listening to Mr. Ice Cream Man on the way home one day, and he told my mom, and my mom was a holy roller.
yeah.
And she went.
Mine was the same.
She took every tape that I had.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when mama come into the crib and lay the law down, I mean, that's just it.
Well, I mean,
You know what I'm saying? She gonna get the albums, and that's just what it's gonna be. Like,
I was making a tape of the Doggy Style CD, and I left it on, because, if you in a black household, it's always going to be the good stereo.
come on now.
And I left the CD up there, and my dad, he left a post-it note that said, we're going to have a conversation about, we never had the conversation.
So you like Doggy Style, but you didn't like NWA?
No, because the difference between Doggy Style and
Yeah,
and
make
Word for
this
Life-
make sense.
It makes sense.
It's a difference from when, say you go to the strip club and you put in the dollar bills, you tipping. N Words for Life, that is balling up the money and just throwing it at the women.
It was that was the time.
It was touching. Yeah, that is
This is-
groping.
yeah, it's groping.
this
It's
is,
definitely the bouncers coming to tap you on the
Yeah,
shoulder.
yeah, exactly. If you are on some second NWA type stuff, when you go to the strip club, they're going to escort you out.
Yeah, you just got to know how to listen to it and have some sense about yourself.
You gotta have some sense about yourself to listen. Yeah, definitely have some sense
I mean,
about
like,
yourself.
I am not removing that album from anything.
Because sonically, it is great. But
great.
you listen, especially side 2, you're like, I can't. This is
When they
bad.
remix Bootsy,
Yeah, I'd rather
That's
mess
one
with
of
you.
man.
The thing is, that's one of the milder songs on the album.
But it's fire though.
Yeah, but then you get like there's an interlude called "To Kill a Hooker." What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah,
when I know better.
So number 4, this is no brainer. De La Soul. You got 3 feet high and rising. De La Soul is dead. Balloon, Mind State, and Stakes is High.
Yeah, yeah, we're not arguing.
no qualms.
No.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Kanye West, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s, and My Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is probably my favorite.
That's
Kanye
facts.
album.
I'm right.
I'm not mad at that. There's zero wrong with this.
What?
There's nothing wrong.
Byron got something to say.
Why'd you start with late registration?
I mean,
Yeah.
you could have started with College Dropout.
Yeah.
Definitely could have started with College Dropout.
Yeah.
But either way it goes, I'm cool.
I'm cool with this
I
one.
get you.
Remember when the 4th album was supposed to be called "Good Ass Job"?
Yeah,
I do.
He still could drop Good Ass Job right now, and then probably would reignite his career.
All right, man. So we at the top 2. So number 2 is Kendrick. Good Kid, Mad City, The Pimper Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale, and The Big Steppers. I'm sorry.
Whatever number 1 is, better be a monster.
You could have gave me Section 80.
Exactly. Yeah.
It could have went Section 80 to Damn.
But they
and been
include
straight.
Section 80 as a mixtape.
Mixtape, yeah.
Because like Mr. Morale, you could miss me with that.
You don't like Miss Morale?
I haven't listened to it since it wasn't a bad album.
See,
but-
that album was one of them where, you know how they say it'll grow on you?
Yeah.
If you listen to it again, just kind of listen to it in the background, it'll start pulling you in.
I'm programming myself then though.
Not necessarily.
I think so.
Because
If I have
I've listened to albums that people like listen to it and I'm like, nah, it's still whack. I don't like it.
The only one of the first album that I listened to and I discarded and then I had to come back to it with was Busta Rhymes Anarchy. First time I heard Anarchy, I was like, man, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to come back to it. I was like, nah, this is great.
Yeah.
Anarchy got heat.
Yeah.
Anarchy got heat.
But yeah, that just it didn't do it for me, man. I'm sorry.
All right, man. Drum roll, please. Number one. I was right.
Yeah.
Outkast.
Yeah.
Southern Playalistic, AT Aliens, Aquemini, Stank on You.
Yeah, I'm going for that.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm not mad at this
But
at all.
Favorite group of all time.
But what's crazy is like we just brought up Busta Rhymes.
He
not on the
should have
list.
been on the list.
Doesn't he have 4 in a row?
Yeah.
He definitely has
He
4.
does. He might have 5.
He definitely has 4.
He might.
You can start The Coming, When Disasters. Let's see.
The
Yes.
Become.
Let's start from When Disaster Strikes. Because The Coming it had some heat on
The
it.
Coming was
But-
fire.
Yeah. We can put the coming in there.
I will start there.
Okay.
When Disaster Strikes, ELE,
Yep.
and
Anarchy.
Anarchy. is
Anarchy.
after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
What was that?
Yeah, that's
It
going.
ain't safe no more.
It ain't safe no more. And then one of his
No,
was a
Genesis
Drake one.
was after
Yeah,
that.
the
Oh
Drake-
yeah, we forgot about
Yeah,
Genesis.
Genesis was after
Genesis. Oh, I forgot about
that.
Genesis.
Then it was Genesis. Then it ain't
Big
safe
Bang
no more.
was
Then the
Big
Big
Bang,
Bang Theory.
with Drake.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah, the Big Bang was fire.
yeah, he's got
Yeah, for him to be left off this list
Yeah,
is
they
a
have
could have took
problem.
Vince
Yeah.
Staples off of there.
Give me Buster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have took ASAP off of there.
Yeah.
They took Pusha
So,
T off.
so do we agree that this list is
No, this is one of the
much
best
more
lists that-
respectable?
I give it a B+.
B plus?
Yep.
B plus? Okay.
Excluding Busta is a problem though.
Maybe
That-
even A-.
Yeah, I was
But
about
we-
to say
We got to
give it
dock
an
him
A-.
for. We got to dock him for Buster though. We got to dock him for Buster, bro.
They was pretty on point at the end, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. B plus.
They literally included everybody that we said before it started.
Yeah.
I will give him that. Then obviously in different positions, but they did include him. So B plus. I'll
I'm
take
not
B.
mad.
B
No,
plus.
I mean like
B+.
usually we get these lists and we're like, man, get this out of here, get that out of here. This person who wrote. We start looking up who actually wrote
yeah.
the list and looking for
Couple of 'em,
profile
we-
pictures,
yeah,
and we're like, okay, now it makes sense. But yeah, like this wasn't too
Who
bad.
ran that one?
Oh, they said Common.
Yeah, Long
Oh,
Common.
Common.
Yeah, Common.
Oh my goodness.
Because that was actually going to be my next one if I didn't say,
Yeah, Common not being on it.
if I hadn't have said Ice Cube, I would have said
Because
Common.
I got Resurrection.
Good call, Lone. One day, like Water
Day.
for Chocolate. Electric Circus.
I got
Be
Electric-
Finding Forever. That's a run.
See, Electric Circus is one of my albums,
Hit or miss.
Byron, where
Yeah.
the first time you listen to it, he's like,
What is
nah,
this?
I'm
Yeah.
cool.
You go
Then
back
kinda
and
go
listen
back
to
and listen
Electric
to it, you be like,
Circus.
nah, this is kind of cool.
Common. I'm not gonna hold you. I missed Electric Circus the first.
Everybody
go-round.
did.
Everybody. No,
No,
you know
I
what?
know some people that
No, I
that
did.
was
You know
rocking
why?
with it.
Because I saw the Electric Circus tour. It was something about seeing it, him do the show. that made it to where this album made sense. And then also I have a feel, my whole thing is like there are people who don't like Electric Circus, but you loved the Love Below.
Yeah. I didn't miss on Electric Circus just because at that time I was so deep into Dilla, pause, that it didn't matter to me. Anything he did to me was great. And then when I heard Come Close Alone, it was like, man, nah.
I respect that. And the video was dope for Come Close.
Yeah. So I was
I loved off that project, The Hustle.
The Hustle was dope. Yeah.
That was
that album is real cool when you driving out of town somewhere.
Yeah.
I usually listen to.
I'm about to jump back into that album because now y'all got me wanting to go back and listen to it. Yo, let's shout out our partners real quick. I know we've been having this good convo, but I'll make sure we shout out our partners.
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Printfinity is a screen printing shop based in Indianapolis, owned and operated by our own DJ Jay Diff. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member for as little as $3 a month. All details on newoldheads.com.
like we all know. Like all right, so you were talking about like the themes that you heard on NWA and how dark and how crazy and wild they were. And then we talked about like we was listening to Public Enemy and all that stuff, you know what I mean? And back then, you know, we were given the options. We had a balance between, you know what I mean, what was out there, you know what I mean? And the themes of the when did it start to change?
Because, you know, I would listen to it and I was almost there for the shock value when I was young.
Right.
You know, but now when I listen to, like I said, when I listen to the attitudes towards women, it bothers me. Now that I'm
the same
older,
stuff that you loved at one point in time.
Yeah, and we might have laughed at it a little bit.
They was the main one singing.
As bad as it might be. But, you know, now,
Quiet as kept.
like we talked about a few shows ago about C. Dolores Tucker.
Yeah.
It was right around the time Reverend Calvin Butts, you know, he went on to be with the Ancestors, and it's like their approach was wrong, but they wasn't wrong. But they wasn't wrong.
Right.
You know, so like I said, when I go back and listen, when I went back and listened to NWA's second album, and I hear some of the stuff, I was like, it makes a scene in Straight Outta Compton really, really funny to me. It was a scene.
The hotel room?
No.
That's the scene. That scene right there is
where they hear Cube do No Vaseline.
Right.
And Jerry Heller is all upset. It's like, we got to get organized, man. All this, you know, Jew, this, that, and like, we're going to get the Anti-Defamation League. And I'm like, you signed off on an album where when one of the songs they're talking about having sex with a 14-year-old girl.
See?
And but this is what you get offended by.
Man.
And so I'm like, so when I watched that scene, I was like, really? You signed off of, I'm not even going to repeat.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of the things that don't even involve curse words.
It didn't even bother you.
I thought it was, you know, like in my, because once again, I'm young. I think I was like maybe 14 or 15. I knew I wasn't driving yet. And I saw it as like silly and funny. And as an adult, I was like, this is terrible. Somebody should have said something.
Yeah, I mean, that's because that's the whole reason why they didn't want us listening to it. But at the same time, like, I would never listen to that around any kids. Like, that
you
type
listened to
of
it
music,
as a kid, but you ain't gonna listen to it.
I did listen to it as a kid, but I mean, I was a kid running around the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, after school and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Eating all kind of stuff. But like it's a period piece almost. So it can only be played, like I'm not even playing it out when I'm DJing.
Right.
Unless it's a party that calls for that.
Strictly
that type of stuff, because people are expecting that. And nobody's going to be offended necessarily by it. Because it is vulgar and crazy and over the top. But at the same time, I mean, it's NWA. They're pioneers. I'll give
them that.
So is it safe?
A whole lot of BS, but that BS was
But it's a difference
definitely
between,
hard
like,
for the time. And then another group that made a whole bunch of BS, 2 Live Crew, which was way more vulgar than NWA.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Because it was talking about sex. NWA was violence against women.
But you have to take into consideration also with 2 Live Crew. Look at the live show aspect. to go with that.
But the live show aspect, those were women choosing to do that.
Like and the difference between between girls shaking ass and hitting them in the head with broomsticks.
Yeah,
like it really is.
It got me there.
Well, I mean, Luke came here and
let's
different.
not talk about
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'll never forget what happened to that man.
Exactly.
Music with that
yeah. I wasn't even here for that.
And he wasn't even the only victim. So when we're talking about NWA, and Two Live Crew,
yeah,
I have a different visual.
But even when we talk about the first NWA album, okay, when Ice Cube was talking about I ain't the one and not talking about he don't want to pay money to get your hair and your nails done, that's one thing. Talking about locking women in a trunk, and driving them somewhere to shoot them, that's something altogether different.
That's overboard, man. I mean, we know that.
But
I know, but that's the difference between Cube not being there and Cube being there.
Yeah, to an impressionable mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this goes back to the conversation we had before.
What's that?
About hip hop.
Yes.
And influential.
Yeah.
Right? We all sitting at this table have common sense.
Right.
To listen to it and leave it at that. But like you said, the impressionable mind can take this stuff literal.
Yeah,
and do something with it, right?
Like
Agreed.
So that I think that happened even in the early 2000s.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When it went to the Dope Boy talk.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so
Jeezy is responsible for a lot of D-boys.
Yeah, and prison sentences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Him, add Gucci, add T.I., add all of them.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, because like he said, with being a certain age. Like we have a certain level of, common sense or whatever, but there are a lot of people that cannot or don't have the discernment to, be able to.
This has also been the thing that we've talked about. Okay, so yes, NWA was wild. They had a #1 record with, what we've been talking about. But at the same time, who was also big? Jodeci and Boys to Men. And then, we had Public Enemy still. There was a level of balance that we had that we lost every year going forward, to where at one point,
what happened is Prince and Michael Jackson stopped making music.
That was a part of it.
That messed up the balance, because you got to understand, we was listening to people talking about slanging dope on the corner.
Yep.
And then Michael Jackson talking about he was bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Dancing and spinning, and then people sliding on their lips and stuff in videos. So,
You're a bad boy if you can slide on
that
your
was
lips.
the balance. That was keeping everybody centered.
But even when we talk about hip hop, that's part of my, and Byron can speak to a little bit of this. Everybody is drug related or sexual.
Yeah. Facts.
Occasionally we get a verse from J. Cole.
Kendrick,
and
then he might
You'd be
even
surprised
mess
how many
stuff.
people don't even like J. Cole.
Well, the thing
I'm not surprised.
I'm not
at all.
surprised.
J. Cole might mess up some stuff too, because look, I got a song talking about, look, lady, just come here and chill, and you want to come talk about the plight of the black man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not.
You came here for one reason.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that. Right now.
So we just talked about influence, and talked about us and our younger selves. So my man Charleston White in the news. Yeah. No. So did you guys see the back and forth between his Finesse 2 Times? He has an artist that goes by the name of Lil King. This kid is 10 years old. He's online telling Charleston White that we pulling up, you gonna get scraped. We gonna script you down. We gonna bury you 50 feet under the ground on my mammy. He's 10 years old, saying all this stuff, arguing back and forth with Charleston White.
These youngsters, because
that's ignorant.
Thank you. Sorry, some of these youngsters, they have no guidance.
But here's
I'm afraid of young people. Like, I'm at that age where I'm just afraid of young people.
But here's the thing, though. Charleston White actually went online and called CPS on Finesse 2 Times.
Good job. That's where I'm old.
So this is my question. With this, I see rappers and I see other people on the internet calling Charleston White a snitch because he's basically talking about Finesse 2 Times, bad influence on this little boy. This kid is 10 years old, man. I'm talking about wow. Well, how does that make hip hop look? The fact that there's people that really
we ain't gonna blame that on hip hop.
I'm talking about hip hop as it relates to the responses in the hip hop community. I ain't saying hip hop is the reason.
Those people are wrong. Those people are wrong. Because look, I don't agree with Charleston White. Says a lot of unnecessary things. Okay, but you gotta understand. 10-year-old. You talking about going to pull up and do
this
violence,
kid is out. Wow.
And it under the influence of somebody who's an adult. I'm sorry, but somewhere along the way, we have to care more about our youth and not care so much. Sometimes we stand on just the wrong things. And if CPS gets involved with this kid and possibly saves his life, because you see what's happening. The victims of violence are getting younger and younger. The assailants are getting younger and younger. I'm sorry, but we cannot push this 10 years. Think about what you was doing when you was 10 years old.
I'm sure it was an adult that was recording.
I was listening to NWA.
Oh, well, this is maybe not the best advice.
Terry.
I turned out quite all right.
Okay.
But I'm focusing on.
Did you ever tell somebody you was going to pull up on them and hit them with that stick?
Nah, because if I had did that,
what would have happened?
They could have possibly pulled
repercussions.
up on you.
Yeah, would have happened.
And this kid's parents are they're not in his life. I think the mother is, I believe, on drugs or something like that. And so he's kind of responsible for this young kid, taking him on tour.
The kid probably sold it to her.
The little boy be on stage. I'm talking about with stacks of bread. He got talking crazy. He's 10 years old.
That's so irresponsible.
And the responses are what are alarming to me, because people actually are mad that somebody's trying to get this kid.
They're mad at Charleston White.
They're mad at Charleston White. I agree. But the fact that you could even just be like, nah, man, that ain't cool. So do you care about the kid, or you just, to your point, just trying to be mad at Charleston White?
They're trying to be mad at Charleston White because everybody who has a little bit of common sense to say, why is he standing on stage with stacks of cash when he should be in bed by 9 o'clock getting ready to go to school?
Have you seen any videos of this little kid?
I did. I saw the video of him saying that he was going to scrape him.
Yes.
Fool, that mind playing with me, fool. We catch that mind, fool. We gonna strip it. This on my grandma head.
And that he was going to scratch him. I did see that. And
what are
I
your
saw
thoughts,
the video of Charleston White calling CPS on them.
Yep.
I found all of this to be hilarious and entertaining.
I knew you was going to nothing in here is, you going to find a positive something for me in there, a little bit about the CPS, or is this just straight entertainment?
It's all entertainment.
It's all entertainment.
I really don't think that CPS probably even responded to it.
Probably not.
We don't know. You're right.
They should have.
Do you think they should have?
I mean, you had Lil Mouse back in the day from Chicago.
Yes, I remember Lil Mouse. He was really out there.
Yeah, he was out there. He's still out. He's still out here too.
Is he?
Big Mouse now.
It's crazy because, I mean, coming up in Chicago, talking crazy about people get you smoked.
Yeah,
quick.
And that was one of his lines on his rap at 10 years old.
And then we smoking on Lil Mouse pack.
Yeah, but we're not smoking on Lil Mouse pack.
No, we're not.
Do we know where Lil Mouse is now?
He's still in Chicago, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I guess. He got out.
Right, just graduated from high school about this time.
You got to think, fam was literally about 9 or 10.
Yeah, he was little.
Yeah.
But I believe, once again, this you can call me being old. Who were the people who had the cameras on this 9 or 10-year-old kid talking about smoking people?
Finesse 2 times.
Yeah. And if you stand on that, then I'm sorry.
It was grown.
It was cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
It's grown, but it was
cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
You ain't supposed to have no kid out there like that.
That made me want to take all his videos off of the playlist.
But bro, it was grown. It was grown men chiming in on this little kid on live. Talking about what happened, man. What they say to gassing him up. I'm talking about just pouring gas on him.
Dangerous games.
That's very dangerous, bro. That's very dangerous, man. And I'm seeing this little boy talking about we gonna script Charleston White when we see him.
And like, you know what? You know what those old men are going when it goes down, because since they could go to jail for getting involved in this, they're gonna be like, oh no, we didn't mean that.
Yeah,
and
it was all entertainment, right?
It's all entertainment.
And then when this kid wind up caught up in the system. Ain't nobody. They're not gonna put no money on his books. They're not gonna be there for his family. It was like, well, sometimes things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because that's what happens in the game. People forget about you. They don't put no money inside.
Right.
They don't make sure that your mama's good. You just go to jail and they forget about you.
Everything ain't entertainment, bro. Sometimes sometimes you got to step in there and do what you got to do. Shorty.
That's why everybody snitches, because they know what the game is. They know nobody's going to look out.
Shorty headed for straight disaster with what I'm seeing. I'm talking about.
Probably too late.
You think it's too late? Might be too late. Might be.
Probably too late. I mean, there's something about when kids do grown people things that is so cute and funny to grown-ups until they mess around and find themselves wrapped up in the stuff that they wasn't supposed to be into in the first place.
Right.
And it falls back on the adults that they're around, though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you want these kids to act grown but not be grown, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. I don't understand it.
I think, man, like those videos of the little kids that be twerking on grown women. I mean, Boosie is a product of that. I remember Boosie was like 12 or 14. I was listening to him on no concentration camp albums. You know what I mean? Like, and Boosie is who he is now.
It's funny because Bow Wow is actually a product of all that stuff.
Yeah.
As much as people clown Bow Wow, he came up around some ignorant-ish.
Usher.
What do you...
Usher. His first single was "Can You Get With It?"
Yeah.
Actually, he was calling the Mac.
Well, but I'm saying that first one that
but
like,
Can You Get With It was clearly an overtly sexual song, and he was a minor.
Yes. This is what he's singing about this at like 12 years old.
You know Boosie said that he doesn't like that Tootie raps about the stuff he raps about. He said, but he grew up, he was around him all the time. He said, but he really don't like that he raps about the street life and all that, but because you grew up in a mansion.
Yeah,
he grew up in a mansion.
I mean, he might have been rich, but he wasn't the best influence on that kid. I mean, none of his kids.
I mean, you grew up
just because you got money.
Music.
I know people that grew up with money, but they were still out in the streets though, because that's how they got it.
Yeah.
So they parents was like big time drug dealers. Anytime you seen them, they had on brand new Jordans, brand new 𝐂𝐄𝐄 sweaters, all that stuff.
Right.
But the influence was already there. Minus the music. They didn't make music, but they were still out in the streets.
Right.
Which you gotta understand too, a lot of these artists are still in the streets. We just know who they are. These kids gotta go home to these dudes every day and be raised by them.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's a good point.
I don't say shout out to Charleston White for much, but shout out to Charleston White for calling CPS on these rappers who are exploiting this child.
Yeah, because you can say Charleston White was right on that, but then did you see the video where he got on the overalls and the Confederate flag and
like I said, I don't say shout out to Charleston White on much because I think he's on BS.
My guy is actually cool with Charleston White, and he says that a lot of his stick is an act, and he's doing it all for essentially clout and internet fame, so to speak.
It worked,
but he does it all under the name of Charleston White. It's not like he creates characters.
That's his. That's his argument. But that's his argument, though. His argument is, I'm playing a character on the internet.
Yes.
Y'all can't take anything that I say.
I am a character.
That's his argument.
Even though I'm doing it under my name.
That's his argument.
I mean, create some alter egos. Prince and them created. Even Beyonce got Sasha Fierce when she wanted to twerk.
I mean, he got one. They call it Rat Williams, which I laughed at. I laughed at.
Because he definitely tell on people. He don't care. He'll tell you that I'm telling on people.
Yeah, he's very funny.
But he actually, people that don't know about him, he does do a lot of stuff in the community.
100%.
As far as helping kids and making sure they go down the right path.
I do.
This whole internet thing is just all
and people get in there.
Just something to do. Something to try to build clout.
People get in their feelings too. He don't care though.
That's the problem. He does not care.
I think he embraces the concept of somebody trying to get at him. Like, it's like, he wants to be a martyr. Like, he really doesn't care. Nobody with common sense would do the things that he does if they cared a lot about how they move or were cautious. He don't care.
Well, I also think that he's in the mindset is like, look, y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all ain't done nothing to 6ix9ine.
Yep.
Ain't done nothing to Zimmerman.
You didn't do nothing in any of these cops that have shot unarmed people. But you gonna do something to me? So I don't think he believes these people have that much heart.
He actually says that a lot too. Why y'all ain't got?
And he's got a point there.
Yeah.
We do not advocate violence at the New Old Heads.
I ain't do nothing to George Zimmerman.
Yeah, that's how he be sounding. That's how he be sounding. Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I hope that little boy gets some help, man, because he going down a dangerous
10
path.
10 years old, man. Come on. Yeah. You're 10 years old. The only thing
he already doing what he gonna be doing, man.
Was on my mind is like how I can get some more Nintendo games.
Hey,
Terry said so far.
Lil Wayne was a product of that too.
Come on, man.
But look about.
He was dealing with a grown man that made him kiss him.
See,
I missed all that. I might not even
and call him no more. And call me daddy.
What you say, Terry?
I might not even want to know no more about it.
He said, "Kiss me in the mouth and call me daddy."
See, nah.
And baby.
Are you talking about?
See, now you just making it worse and worse.
Hey, you just he built the case. He built the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a little much, huh?
Yeah, I think
that's please say the baby.
No. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Then he recruited.
I don't know what the F stand for.
And what's the name was with him too.
I just thought about that's ignorant. I just thought about what he said.
Is ignorant.
That's ignorant. I just thought about what he said.
It's ignorant.
Oh my goodness, man.
Terrible.
All right, man. Let's. That's ignorant. Okay. Let me gather myself. So, moral of the story is get that little boy some help. All right. So
you gonna help him? You gonna take him to the Boys and Girls Club? You gonna go pick him up?
I mean, he don't stay here.
Be a big brother to him.
He ain't gonna listen to me. He might try to scrape me.
You scared of the 10-year-old?
I mean, he might.
I pull up with
you ain't seen this 10-year-old.
Hey,
that's gonna do it for this week's episode. Shout out to the chat. We appreciate y'all for sticking around with us. Remember, newoldheads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe for it, pay for it. Patreon, we really appreciate the support there as well. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah.